Hello YouTubers, Joe Kersey here. I promise I'm not trying to turn this thing into the Weather Channel. May 19th, Saturday, 2018. It's about 11:30 in the morning Eastern Time, and this just started here about 3-4 minutes ago. We had rain like this pretty much 60% of the time yesterday during the day. Didn't look like we got too much last night. Yeah. Well, you know, it's what it is, isn't it? I was able to get out and get the deck swept off this morning, more or less, from the oak flowers that have, you know, come out after fulfilling their function. Well, oak flowers that had come down, rather, after fulfilling their function. Well, when they cleared that roof off of all the detritus, it really made the water come down over the eaves troughs even faster, didn't they, huh? Believe it or not, I actually chopped down some poison ivy there earlier this morning. I have found that the surest way to make the rain stop is to go out and try and video it.
I'm going to order some. I'm going to order some extra cards.
I ordered 3. I'm going to let you have 1.
Oh, okay. I may not need them. Well,
these are 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got the 64 in there. I've got.
Well, that was also from me, by the way.
I know. I've got a 32 or 64 in my old Canon.
Yeah.
That I can bring.
Of course, you have to format it for you. Yeah.
I'll just reformat it.
Yeah,
well, it's probably the same format.
Well, no, it's different.
Well, it'll yell at you when you put it in there.
Oh,
it'll be like, whoa, 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 Jose, what are you doing? Yeah, it'll tell you.
Okay.
And then I've got, and I actually haven't tested this out yet, but I have a 64 micro SD. Well, it might be a 32, but
yeah, but that doesn't take.
It's a micro SD, but then I have an adapter for it.
Oh, okay.
And theoretically, you put it in like the little thing, and then you put it in, and it works. I haven't tried it yet.
Well, unless you're planning on shooting video,
which I probably not with the camera.
I mean, a lot of video. You're not going to fill up even a 64 gig card if you're just shooting pictures.
Well, and that's what I was thinking, but then I wanted to bring at least one more, just in case I want to do video. But I figured if I was going to do any video, more than likely I'll do that with my phone, because the phone shoots in HD anyway.
Yeah.
But that way then...
1080?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and then that way I could go to, when we get back to the room, I can just, if I want to put that up to YouTube, I can just get on the Wi-Fi and right from my phone, and, and don't have to fuck around with...
Yeah, fuck around. Well, you know, I think the first year I went, 2016, I think I may have shot, I was surprised how little I shot. I mean, I think I only shot like 35, almost not quite 40 gigabytes of material.
I may not, and that's the thing, like I may not shoot a lot, just because I find that if I get too focused on taking a picture, then I miss the experience.
No, you're absolutely right.
What I'm experiencing.
No, that's exactly the way I've come to look at things. And I think last year I shot maybe 52, 55 gigabytes of material.
I mean, I'll take some pictures just to take some pictures, and plus it's a neat camera. I've been fucking around with it. I can't quite get. I have to play around with it. I can't quite get like the little manual settings the way I want.
Well, you can choose. You can choose 2 of any 4.
Yeah, I know.
On the manual.
Yeah.
So it's not like you choose 2 of 3.
Right.
You know? It's
yeah.
I tell you though, actually you can you do choose, but because you can't select the ISO. I will say that their algorithm for setting the ISO when you set the 2, things you want on the manual mode, it seems to be a fairly reasonable algorithm in terms of so you can set speed and I think set speed and f-stop, and then it selects ISO. Of course, if you like to shoot, I like to shoot around 4 if I can on anything, and I like fast shutter speeds anymore now, given my. Plus, you can't really get a firm hold on these things.
Right.
Anyway. So that means you're going to necessarily have a fast ISO. Now it goes up to 12,000 ISO.
But see, I'm not used to playing with the ISO anyway, because when I used to shoot on the Pentax, you pretty well had to set the ISO for the film that you're using. And then that was it. Like, you didn't have a choice.
But the problem with the higher ISOs on the camera, is that it gets a bit grainy.
Yeah.
You lose some contrast, and you're only starting in a digital camera anyway with 1 to 3 contrast. And so you tend to get flatter looking. So this isn't like slide film that gives you 1 to 20 contrast right all the time.
Right.
And print film only gives you 1 to 5.
Right.
I think with black and white you can get a little bit more contrast. And a lot of that depends on how you process it.
With film.
With print. Yeah, with film.
With film,
yeah.
not with.
No. It's 1 to 3.
Because when they do black and white on this, it's
1 to 3.
It's 1 to 3.
It's 1 to 3. The higher the ISO, the less. I think up past around it starts tailing off around 800
maybe that's what I should mess around. So maybe I should play around, because I keep it set at a fairly fast shutter speed.
Yeah.
Because
I do too.
Everything in my house is
right.
constantly fucking in motion.
Right.
So I have to have a fast cut shutter speed.
That's right.
So Kelly's up at Camp Lazarus today, and I was like, Kelly, I can't go on this trip with you guys. I can't. I can't. I got too much to do. I've got to get out and just see Dad at least one more time before we go on this trip, just to talk particulars.
I'm glad you didn't say one last.
I'm like, yeah. I've got all this fucking grading I've got to get done. I got to mow the lawn. We're having like 3 or 4 people over for a little cookout tomorrow, so I gotta.
You need to get a sheep. Or a goat.
We've been talking about that. Kelly wants a baby goat.
Well, you got to have 2. They don't do well when they're alone. Maybe the dog might count as a companion animal, but you really have to have a companion animal. In fact, that's a law in Ohio.
Well, you can get these little like micro goats that they'd only get about this big, but then you just leave them out to graze and.
No, it's like a Roomba, only for your grass. Yeah.
They had these. So when I was on this forced journey to Cedar Point here on May 11th.
Nobody got killed.
No.
Nobody got crippled.
No.
Brain damage.
No. We're good.
Good.
We all got back on the bus and like I did the head count, and then my partner did a head count. She's like, okay, do we have everybody? I'm like, I got everybody. And then one of the kids is like, we're all here, Mr. Kersey. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. The rule says we only have to have 98% of you back. And the kid looks at me for a minute. She goes, nah. I'm like, I know, I'm kidding. She's like, oh. I'm like, so
after the roller coasters, I guess you really do have to do like a head count on various levels.
God, it was fucking cold. It was fucking cold. It was 52 degrees with a 20-mile-an-hour constant wind coming off of the lake.
Oh, of course. It's like living in Fort Wayne.
And I told the kids, I said, guys, it's supposed to be warm. And I'm like, no. It's supposed to be warm here in Columbus.
The wind never stops.
We are going up to a peninsula jutting out into, a northern lake.
How was the sewage situation in Sandusky Bay? Could you see that from the top of the roller coaster?
No, I didn't get on any fucking rides.
Did it have that nice, lovely brown color as it floated out toward
visibility was like not.
Toward Lake Erie?
So
that was great when you'd fly over it. You know, when I was flying, you go up there, and you'd see this. Here's Lake Erie looking pretty nice, and then you look off to the west.
Oh yeah,
and
west,
you'd see sort of like the algal blooms.
Yeah.
And then you'd look at Sandusky Bay, and you'd see this absolute brown sludge.
Even Kersey himself was saying, no, we got to clean this up. This is like fracking is my best friend Kasich, and even Kasich like, all right, this is ridiculous. But anyway, so I went and took a little walk around the park, right? And so if you meander all the way to the back of the park, they've got this like frontier town. But anyway, they have like a petting zoo, and so enclosed in one of these enclosures.
So sad.
Apparently not open for petting, but enclosed in one of these enclosures was they had clearly one adult goat who's generally, I think, old and pissed, and then two of these little, I don't know if they were baby goats or micro goats, but these little guys were just hopping up and they had like all kinds of barrels and boxes and shit for them to jump around, and these little guys like jumping up on the barrel and then jumping up and then jumping up on the barrel and jumping up.
Yeah,
and then they'd run up to the old grumpy goat, and the grumpy goat would like, "Mah," and then they'd run away.
So he wasn't actually alone.
No.
Yeah, no, because in Ohio you have to have a companion animal for goats, not so much sheep, and llamas and alpacas.
Yes.
And they can each interact.
But alpacas can be companion animals.
Oh yeah, they can each interact as companion animals for the other thing. Yeah. But that's only been in effect for probably about 4 years now. But it makes sense.
They had a couple of alpacas. They had a fucking. It looked like a camel to me. Might have been a llama. No, I think.
Well, they're all camelids.
Yeah. They had two of these little baby like mini potbelly pigs roaming around. Yeah. So I spent most of my time just staring at the animals.
Which don't necessarily stay pot-bellied and small.
No. Anyway. So then I spent most of my day trying to stay warm in the Starbucks. Which is, by the only place you could get a hot anything to drink.
I know they don't sell alcohol up there, do they?
Well,
I know you couldn't drink it. Obviously,
they do. Yeah. So there were several. I counted 3 separate little areas around the park where you could get where they had like beer and wine, but they were all closed.
Oh, of course.
Now 2 of my teacher buddies and I walked over. We figured out because it was so fucking cold. Everything was standing room only in the only restaurant area eateries that they had open. So we walked. It turns out they'll let you back in. So we walked to the marina side and found this sit-down like barbecue joint, like Famous Dave's or something. I think is what it was called. And they had beer on the menu, and I was like, no one's gonna know, and I'm not driving anywhere.
Well, that's right. It's not like you were driving the bus,
and it's not like I'm making critical. I mean, I'm like, if something goes wrong, no decision I make is going to matter at that point. Right? Like, the kid falls off a coaster, and it's not like
What are you going to do?
What am I? Nothing, right?
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have one. I thought about it. I didn't want to get ratted out by my 2.
No. You'd have also the Daily Mail tomorrow or some damn thing. On Oprah or
Catholic school teacher fired for having a. Plus, it wasn't good beer anyway.
Well, I mean, it wasn't really beer. What was it?
That was all just.
What, like Bud Light or something?
Yeah.
Oh hell, that's not beer.
Yeah,
that's not beer. That's shit.
It was,
That's shit. That's swill.
I guess they did have like a Sam Adams on the menu, so that's okay.
Well, it depends on what one it was.
Yeah, just a Boston Lager.
Oh, that's reasonable enough. Usually. Depends on which contract brewery has made it, and did they wash out their tanks before they made it?
Oh, there's a wide variation.
Oh yeah.
And when you buy it in the bottles, it's always fine on tap.
Yeah, on tap it is
because they only make that in the main brewery. But,
up there in Boston. Yeah.
But
no, that is good.
But there's a wide variation. I don't buy it anymore just because of that.
Well, only time I buy it is when I arrive back in the United States at the airport.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you know, no, it's going to be $10 of fucking whack. But those two of those $10 beers, you know, after you know being essentially mashed into the cattle pen there, you know.
Our ticket says we're flying. It's not first class, but it's like
we're premium economy.
Yeah, I mean, so we have more leg room, and
in theory,
presume
we shall see.
Yeah.
What we will get to do, probably, is get on in like the second group board, and that does make a big fucking difference. It really does.
Yeah.
This is Tony Ballman probably sending me pictures of his food. He and Jim are down in Astoria, Oregon. They're a little weekend away.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now the Arizona thing is totally off.
No. They're moving.
So they are moving.
They have bought a house.
So they are moving.
Yes, they are.
Okay, because I thought you had said that then it was off and then it was. Okay.
Well, you know how these things go.
Right.
The house, the house is under contract. He's repairing the driveway and the gas line routing to his house, and people are chomping at the. I think I don't know if they're either going to rent it or they're going to sell it, but they've got that under control too. So.
I wonder if I could pick one of these up on during this weekend.
I'm sure you can. In fact, you can order that from their website.
I could go to DurhamBrewery.com.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to check out Durham Brewery.
What you can do is you can buy 6 packs of their products in this hellishly expensive shop, and it's like, you get $6 or 4 bottles. A lot of times they just sell you 4 bottles, and of course they're 20-ounce bottles. I mean, they're real pints.
Yeah.
They're imperial pints. It's not quite. Well, see, the alcohol, as much as they say the alcohol tax is really high over there, it ain't anything compared to the state of Ohio.
Oh, well, no.
I can tell you that right now.
The beer tax in Ohio is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, particularly for beer, especially because the beer guys never believed the state of Ohio was going to actually raise the tax. The wine guys took them at their word and lobbied hard, and they got the best deal. So that's why I drink this wine, which is okay. But here's my fat tire.
Oh yeah, little
fat tire there.
Little fat tire. Yes.
I do like this. Somebody was saying, one of my viewers was commenting that they see fat tire in bars all the time where they are.
Oh, well now that they've got the Asheville brewery in North Carolina, they're cranking it out.
Oh, rather than the Fort Collins.
Yeah, so it's not coming from Fort Collins anymore. It's coming up from
I think the first time I had it was from Fort Collins.
Oh yeah. And then, but yeah, they have some good stuff. I've been to the Asheville brewery.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, it's much better fresh. Of course, all beer's better fresh.
Oh yeah.
They do some good stuff too. They have some other stuff that's really quite good.
Why am I belching?
I don't know. I've been.
Well, because I'm getting happy and excited, and so I start swallowing air.
Oh.
I'm a massive aerophage.
Oh God.
I'm an aerophage.
I've been refluxing like crazy. I'm gonna have to probably start a course of Previs or
you
something.
You want some Ranitidine?
No, Ranitidine don't do shit for me. I took a Pepsid before I came over. That seems to help a little bit, but that's that famotidine or whatever.
What am I? Oh, actually, I don't reflux very much anymore. I mean, hardly at all, and I can lay flat on my back. Now, I couldn't do that for years.
I go in fits and starts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's all diet related. I'm sure it's something I'm eating and.
Well, mine was for a while sort of, well, it was quite large. I mean, quite large. Not 225, but like 270 large. I mean, that was a chronic problem.
Oh, yeah.
That was sheer weight was going on. Plus, I don't eat very much anymore. I had picked up a while back for about 3 or 4 weeks, and now it seems like I've reset back to where I was.
No, it's getting warmer.
Well, the problem with going to England now is going to be the good thing is we'll be walking a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The bad thing is we're going to be eating a lot of fucking fried potatoes and shit. You know, French fries, chips, fucking chips. I'll tell you, if I never saw another fucking chip, it would not be too soon.
Well, you don't have to eat them.
Well, yes, you do. I mean, it's part of the experience. It's like you're in England, you're in the UK. You know, eat your fucking chips.
Eat your chips.
But where I draw the line is mushy peas. I will not eat mushy peas. And you actually can. Most places get real, and they seem to be fairly fresh peas too.
Huh?
Yeah. And they cook them right. They don't boil the fuck out of them. You know, it's not like my mother was cooking your peas. It's like somebody knew what they were doing was cooking your peas.
Which is odd for Britain.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, they've gotten a lot savvier about that. I'll tell you, I never really had a bad meal over there. No. Not the last 2 times I've been over. No.
How's the food at the Radisson Blue?
The food at the Radisson Blue in terms of the breakfast is absolutely fucking outstanding.
There you go.
Copious.
There you go, man.
The problem is now, if you know, in the unlikely event we would want to have a drink in the hotel bar, they really have essentially no ale selections. It's all these fucking lagers. You know, well, they're reasonable lagers, but you know, come on. It's England. You want ale.
Yeah.
Right.
Ask for real ale.
Well, there's no problem finding ale up in the town.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes, I've ordered
Pubs open at 11.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I mean, there's no rush to get up there in the morning. You know, you can take your leisurely, second shit. You can take your leisurely second or third leak, you can, have that extra cup of tea to be sure you're washed out,
Well, good, yes. And then off adventuring we'll go.
That's right. Turn that shower head up your behind, get yourself clean.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
what a nice insight into your morning routine there.
You're paying for it. You may as well fucking use it.
Yeah, man. It's like a real honest to goodness hotel.
Yes, it is. And I'll tell you, this will be the 5th time I've stayed there now in the last 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I think they ought to give me a little deal.
You should get like a frequent flyer points card or something.
Yeah, I mean, they talk to me about that every time I check in, and I'm thinking, given that I'm planning on coming back here probably once or twice a year now for 6, 7 years.
Well, why? It doesn't cost you anything. You might as well. Hell, you could have probably earned a free night at this point.
I'll try to sweet talk them a bit when we check in.
Now I've been here.
I know I've been up here before.
Yeah. I've been here 4 times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is my favorite place to stay.
It is. They gave me a corner room on the 3rd floor, facing the river last time, and the year before that when I came back, after Tony and I had stayed there, then I came back and stayed there another 4 or 5 days. They gave me this fucking suite that faced the river.
Whoa.
Right now, basically, I got off the elevator, I walked into my room. It was like,
nice. Heck yeah. Be good stuff. Sweet taco. Tony.
It's probably is. It's lunchtime. I'm sure I'm getting well and dockside views. Out over the Columbia River and so forth. Because that's right.
That's good stuff.
Oh, it's pretty. They've been there before.
Yeah, I've always wanted to go, and I've never been to that part of the country. I've always wanted to go and check out, Portland, and I hear Portland's a neat city, and Seattle.
Well, if you pay the tax.
Bay Area. Well, yeah, just visit.
I think that's ultimately what's driving Tony out of Seattle. It's like the taxes.
Yeah.
tax. Interestingly, Washington doesn't have any income tax per se, but the real estate taxes, and then the extra add-ons for being in Seattle.
You're paying.
If you fall afoul of whatever politically correct, policy that they want to promote.
Well, I mean, you're paying either way, right? I mean, if you don't have an income tax, you're.
Well, the income tax in Ohio isn't that high.
It's okay. It's not totally.
Well, they tax capital gains as ordinary income. That's the only difference. But the thing in Ohio that's hellish is real estate tax.
Yeah. Well, in most places. Yeah. I mean, it's not too bad in Columbus, but
even with basically down to less than half my place, and one less house, I'm still paying like $6,900 a year. Now, admittedly, that's down from about $11,500 a year. So the little darlings can go to the terrazzo floored schools.